Seems super appropriate that we're getting a little bit wet here in front of Steelhead Food Company, our latest guests on Meet the Makers. Let's go inside and meet Meg and Matt. Meg, how you doing?
Paul, good to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you so much for welcoming us
Absolutely.
into your store. We are at today Steelhead Food Company, and let's get right into it.
Sure.
Tell us, you know, the journey, where we are, what you're serving, everything.
What we're up to.
Yeah.
Sure, we started in 2015 as a box-in, box-out company, very small, just my husband and I,
Okay.
Matt and myself. And then we eventually moved into this location here in 2018.
Okay.
We acquired ourselves some processing equipment. This was all very new to us. We had nothing to do with fishmongering before this life together. A bit of a leap of faith. We got everything set up for processing, started processing just a couple of types of fresh fish off the lake. Eventually we expanded into what we are today, which is a full line of fresh, frozen fish, seafood, shellfish, crustaceans. We do it all here. So we specialize still in our local products off the lake.
Okay.
Have a relationship with Gollum Fisheries out of Port Stanley, bringing in our Lake Erie yellow perch and pickerel, processing that here in-house, and then supplying our market here as well as our new market in Port Stanley with all of that fish, plus salmon, halibut, swordfish, you name it, whatever we get.
Is it mostly lake fish that you're processing, or are you bringing in salmon as well, or things like that?
Yeah, so our trifecta
Okay,
would be our,
who knew?
Yeah,
Okay.
would be our yellow perch, pickerel, and then our Atlantic salmon is something that we cut huge amounts of. We actually just purchased a brand new salmon filleting machine.
Okay.
It's state of the art. We're the only place in Ontario that has this piece of machinery.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to be running today. So
There we go.
what could go wrong?
I know. I've got all my fingers so far. So.
Yep.
Behind the scenes here at Steelhead Food Company, we're going to chat with Matt McTaggart, one of the co-owners of this. Thanks so much for welcoming us here, but
Absolutely.
showing us behind the scenes. And I'm hoping you could tell us a little bit what we're looking at, what we're doing, what the fish precisely is, everything.
All right, so basically what we have here is we're a full multi-species fish processing house. We do a lot of species such as pickerel, which they're cutting right now on the table. A lot of yellow perch. We do a lot of salmon. We do halibut. We do char. We do mahi-mahi. We do swordfish. Just all kinds of stuff. Whatever the customers, the restaurants, whatever they need is what we do, right? Our biggest volume is lake fish, right? Dealing with Gollum Fisheries boat, the Caroline. We have some fresh perch here that just got cut this morning.
Alrighty. Where will this end up? Like-ish?
So this will end up in some of our Port Stanley restaurants. This will end up in a lot of our grocery stores, right? Sobeys, Foodland, Sunripes, Remarks, all that, and all kinds of restaurants, as well as out of our two markets too, right?
Okay. Like how long ago was that swimming around in Lake Erie?
So this would have came off the boat yesterday, and then the pickerel just the other day after that, just because they're switching back and forth between their nets. And so basically what we do is every morning we sort out what we're doing. We take everything back to the scalers that are in the back. We scale them, we bring them up. Pickerel are going for hand cutting. The yellow perch, we're going through the machines right now, just to get through the volumes of what we have.
And then, like, talk about volumes. Like you mentioned, perch and pickerel are the two main ones, like of the lake fish. But like, how many pounds of?
Yeah,
just to give us an idea.
So this year, perch is actually going pretty decent. First time in like 5 or 6 years. we're hoping to land probably about 150 to 160,000 pounds of yellow perch this year in the 2023 season.
Alrighty.
Pickerel, it's been going heavy. It just increases every year by about 20%. We're thinking that we're probably going to land somewhere in around 370,000 pounds of pickerel.
All here.
All getting cut here, all getting processed. Some will get shipped around all across Ontario. And as we just gravitate into this new level of certification, all across Canada, and into the mid-US.
So maybe we can walk through like what it would take to process a fish. You talked about some of the scalers and things like that, and maybe we'll check out your new salmon processing machine.
Absolutely.
The only of its kind in Ontario, I've been told.
That's right. So this is a Tri-Frisk CX6, right? So CX6 meaning it's got 3 and 3 scale removers, right? So this is your flat, these are your 2 cones. So this will do the bottom side of the fish, or the right side, depending on which way you put it in. This will do the left side, or the bottom and the top, right? So fish travels through here, and when it comes out the other side, it's scaled. Okay, so now this is basically, it's removed all the scale off the fish, right? So there's no scale there, there's no scale there.
All this will be processed today, presumably.
Yeah. So this is all yellow perch. Basically comes through the header here. So this is actually one of the most important parts of the whole filleting process, because you have to make sure you remove the head, you remove the gill plate and all that stuff, because if you don't remove that, then what happens when it hits the filleter, it won't process right, and then you'll have a lot more trimming. Here at this spot, right, so now Ryan's basically taken the bodies and he's sending them through the filleter, so one at a time. So it's got to hit the spear properly. So there's a set of, the first set of blades, or sorry, there's a belly blade under there, cuts the belly. And then there's a gutting wheel, so the gutting wheel removes the guts out of it. Then it hits a set of 2 blades for the backbone. It splits the fish, pushes the backbone out. Now you got 2 fillets with ribs on it. Then there's this last set of blades at the end that removes the ribs off it. So when it comes out the end, you basically have a fillet that is pretty much done, clean, ready to go, other than a little bit of intestine that just needs to get pulled, or a little QA.
And so then where does that, then this would get out to your storefront, or some of it would be packaged back here to go out to like a food land or the restaurants?
It's all just going to get distributed to where the orders are, where the sales are. X amount is going to be dedicated to go to the freezer. The rest is going to get sold fresh, and then the next day, the next load comes in from the boat, and so on and so forth every single day, right? And then,
Which is awesome, but I feel, I heard like a sense of terror every single day. The fish keep coming.
They just keep coming. So what we got here is we got our new state-of-the-art salmon fillet machine. This is a Morel 2630. It was built for us over in Denmark. And this machine will do 20 fish a minute in salmon. So why don't we get Paul? Why don't we show Paul how to cut one of these? So
I'm cutting one of these already.
Yeah,
okay.
Paul's gonna.
I'll need your help. So I want to keep them this way, and then again, I'm not great at that. Where am I going?
Okay.
Help me out.
Do you want to show him? Okay. So you want to angle the blade in there and underneath.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like all the way through?
Not all the way through. Come down through the belly part. There you go. Now flip it over. Flip the fish over.
Okay.
Okay, now same thing.
Right, is that
Back
right
on
in?
an angle underneath the gill plate. Follow right up to where your other cut is. Okay, so now here, before you go through, now you want to straighten your cut and go straight down. Make it a nice straight cut. All right, let's have a look at your head there,
Okay.
right? That's not bad.
Is that all right?
That looks pretty good.
Did I wait? I wasted. I feel like I
Oh, there's a little bit there. That's not too bad though. You know, I've seen worse.
All
Let's
right,
see.
good.
Let's see the fish.
All
Let's see
right.
the fish. All right. So that's pretty good. You're pretty straight there.
Try number 1, guys.
Pretty straight there. We may clean that up just a tad a little bit.
Okay.
You know, but it does look pretty good. So I think so. Now you're taking the head off. Why don't we try feeding the machine?
Okay, so presumably,
So now you got. So this goes in upside down. You gotta go up. So why don't you? Yeah. So put it in like that. Okay. Push it down.
okay.
Open it up, put your fingers, yeah, you put your fingers like that, and then you push it in.
It's like a car wash.
That's right. There you go. So now, let's see how you made out.
Whoa!
And there's the fillet right there. And here,
Come on.
right, it's ribbed out. It's got a good spine cut, right? Fairly even all the way around. There's not much yield there. And what we look for is we look for basically as close as you can get. You look to see if you can rub meat off there, right?
Okay.
If you can rub meat off there, okay, then you need to get a little tighter. You don't want to be cutting into that spine,
Yeah.
right? But you don't want to be leaving meat on there, right? So what we'll do too sometimes is we'll keep these, and if you want to make salmon burgers, you just take a spoon and you do this, right? And you just do that with a whole bunch. Then you get your perfect hamburger meat for making salmon burgers for the barbecue and all that stuff, right? So we'll do that sometimes.
And
with
I mean,
these.
that actually looks delicious just in and of itself, right?
Yeah, like it's like that's like pretty much sushi grade right there. You could probably just sit there and eat that if you wanted to.
All right. Well, we won't necessarily do that on air. Matt, I just thank you to you and your entire team for welcoming us in today, chatting with Meg earlier. Best of luck, obviously. I'll be returning as a customer a whole bunch of times, whether it's in Port Stanley at the new location or here in St. Thomas.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Thanks so much.